Comedy fans, rejoice. The boys are back. Welcome back to another episode of Hyenas Presents The Green Room. And we are right here in the Green Room at Hyenas Comedy Club, Winrock Town Center. Van Nunley, Andy Lyman talking comedy with you today. Special guest in the house in ABQ, not for the first time, I understand, by way of Washington State. New friend of the program, Brad Upton. Welcome, my guy.
I appreciate you having me here. Thank you.
Brad, is Upton is like that's the British way of saying uptown?
Maybe. I don't know, but it's British. Yeah. It might
I'm just realizing we're sitting in Uptown, Albuquerque right now.
I didn't make that
my
connection.
name will get misspelled that way sometimes too, or people go call me Brad Uptown. You think that's my show business name, Brad Uptown? It's just so cheesy.
Any relation to BJ or Justin Upton?
Perhaps.
You look similar.
Yeah, very. Yeah. No, I was BJ up. My name's Bradley John.
Oh, there we go.
And my dad called me BJ, and some of the guys in high school called me BJ. So when BJ Upton came along, I was BJ Upton long before BJ Upton was BJ Upton.
I mean, that's an excellent claim to fame right
Exactly. And then I bought one of Justin Upton's game-worn jerseys when he was a Padre and a Mariner. So I have an Upton baseball jersey.
Your own name on the back of a jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, to get that right up in there. Swallow that bad boy.
Right.
There we go. So Hyenas, great room. You have another show tonight, two shows tonight.
Yeah.
How was the vibes last night?
They were good. They were fun. It's a good room. It's not very big, but it's a good room. I mean, it's low ceilings. That's fantastic for comedy.
It's kind of nice that it's such a small room, I think.
Yeah.
As an audience member, I've never been on stage, but it's not a bad seat. You mentioned the Mariners, and we were talking before you're a Washington boy, just like I was born in Tacoma, St. Joe's Hospital,
right?
Downtown Tacoma. Are you over the? I mean, all Mariners fans are over the loss by this point because we're over the loss before it happens.
Yeah. No, I just this week actually. Funny you should say that I started wearing my Mariner hat again. I got several hats. I just for how's long has it been? Mid-October. So yeah. It's been almost 2 months. I was all right. I'll start wearing my Mariner hat again.
Yeah. Every game that series, I was like, this is it. It's gonna be it.
I was at the 15-inning game. I was at that
nice.
Stood for 5 hours.
Bring a pillow?
Oh God. I was sore the next day. I couldn't believe it. I talked to other people the same way. Plus, it was 5 hours long, and it was just there was so much noise. I mean, the decibels were like at 100 for 5 hours, and the next day it felt like a concert. You'd been at a concert.
Speaking of not a bad seat there, I'm trying to think of where there would be a terrible seat.
And I had good seats. I was about 8 rows behind the
it
was great. It was fantastic.
I saw a game back in April, and we were right under the scoreboard, and it's not where I want to sit, but there's not pillars in front of you.
No, it's great.
Clear view of the field. Yeah.
You should see Andy's Mariners hat that is just beat to absolute shit.
You need something new?
Yeah.
All right, Santa's listening.
We're getting set up, and I didn't rub it in, but I was born and raised right outside of Houston, Texas, and grew up an Astros fan. So I apologize for the absolute reign of terror my Astros have been putting on the AL West.
Not this year.
Not this year.
No,
it seems like
we knocked them out this year. It was very satisfying.
Yeah, it seems like there's a sea change coming. The Mariners are legit. Like signed, got Naylor, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, I think. Well,
this is a baseball podcast
now. But yes, I think this is we're turning into a corner here. I think so. Guess we'll see. We'll see when pitchers and catchers report.
So all Washington sports, all Seattle sports.
Oh yeah. I used to have Seahawks season tickets a long time ago. I had those. I inherited those from my parents, and then I had them. And then I started a family, and I was like, I no more. I can't pay for these, and I don't want to take the kids, and I let them go.
So you're watching like Largent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the
I went the very first season.
Real diehard Seahawks fan.
Yep. And then they did they used to do the Seahawks. Their summer camp was at Eastern Washington University over in Cheney, and that's where I was going to school at the time. So I was there in the summertime when they were there at camp. We used to go down. It was great. I was an athlete in college, so I was 6'1", 175, and we'd go down where the bar where the Seahawks all drank at night after practice. They drank, but then they had curfew at like 9 o'clock. So
Yeah.
at 8:50, they all left. And all these girls would come out from Spokane trying to hit on these Seahawks, and then all these guys would leave and it'd be full of these hot girls. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just on the DL right now.
Yeah.
I don't have to be in right away.
I'm a defense coordinator. I can.
Back then, I was defensive backside. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like, I'm a defensive back. I'm hurt right now, so I don't have to be in.
Now they refer to you as Scrappy,
Scrappy.
locker room guy, gym rat.
Right.
So we were talking earlier too. You've got a special coming out. Are you ready to? You got a name ready to announce for it? Or?
I don't know if I have a name for it, really, an official name, but yeah, I'm going to shoot it in April in Nashville, and Nate Land is producing it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Those guys seem so much fun. I mean, I know I watched Nate's podcast with some of those guys. They seem like just a good time.
Yeah.
Good hang. I don't know. Have you hung out with them?
They asked me to be on the podcast about a year ago, and I was on vacation with my wife, and I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do it, but I can't.
That's probably not something you should blow off.
No, I know, but I was on vacation. It was the first vacation we'd taken after she retired. I didn't want to go, hey, why don't you stay in this town for 2 days while I fly to Nashville? So I turned it down.
That's exciting. Yeah. So do you know where you're going to release it yet?
It'll be on the Nateland.
Oh, on there. That's right. You just said it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's I guess I don't know how that works. Is it on YouTube or when they post it or just wherever they?
I don't know.
Okay.
They said we're going to do it, so I went, okay. I don't know how it works either.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Just nod your head. Yeah. I'll do that.
I don't have to do all the work behind it. I got to just show up and tell jokes. That's all I want to do.
So the hour you're working on your special, are you kind of like sharpening the bits right now here in Albuquerque? It's like you're trying to perfect it.
What you see tonight in Albuquerque will look a lot like what the special will look like in April. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you like juggling in between stuff that's going to be in, stuff that's cut, like stuff
That's
like?
pretty much the way it is. But the thing is, comedy is I might write a new good 5-minute bit between now and April. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to stick this in there and kick something else out probably.
I assume you're like everybody else or most everybody else that once this gets recorded as a special, everything's burned, right? You don't go back to it.
I don't know how people do that, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I don't know how guys do that. Because my first one, when I blew up on YouTube and on Dry Bar, that was the 45 minutes I've been doing for a long time. And all of a sudden it was like, oh crap, I got to get rid of this stuff and write some new stuff. Which I did, but I got away with being lazy for a while, not changing much, doing the same hour every night. It worked every night. Why are you going to mess with it?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everybody'd seen it. And, I don't know if you know the bit or not, but it was about millennials. That was the thing that just blew up and everybody wanted to see it. But, man, I'll tell you, that would kill every night, just destroy every night. And then all of a sudden, when all the audience had seen it already or watched it 8 times already, and then I would do it. It was like, ooh, this thing's not hitting like it used to.
Can you just feel the energy in the room change?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's not necessarily as dramatic as they just all leave, but you
but you feel like, it's not getting the laugh that it's always got.
Well,
That's a weird thing because with comics, I mean, there's guys maybe that you've seen or worked with. You want to see some of their best bits. I mean, I got guys I've worked with over the years. I'm like, I hope he does that thing about the truck. I hope he does that truck bit. And no, do I sit there and laugh at it out loud? No, but I love watching it.
Well, I mean, the one the first one I was thinking about is Jeff Foxworthy, right? Like he always did the "you might be a redneck" thing. That was always a list of always the same stuff. But also Bert Kreischer, at least it used to. I think every show would end with the machine story, a story about.
Well, he can't do a show now without taking his shirt off. So what? He's got a mansion.
Exactly.
Good for him.
But I saw him twice, and the last 10 minutes is him telling that Russian story again, how he's the machine, and same thing. You're like, all right, but it doesn't have the. I can feel the energy leaving my body.
And I guess the machine story I've been told has evolved over time too.
Probably it's sort of like the it's like the aristocrat story.
Right.
You could just tell it however you want.
Yeah.
At the end, say they call me the machine. That's
right.
Big,
How long you been working on this hour?
Let's see. I'm trying to think when I did my last one. The last one was in 2022. So since then, I've been doing it. And I cheated. I resurrected a bunch of old stuff. So when I needed a bunch of new material, a lot of it I've done before. I just haven't put it on either of the previous 2 specials. And that's good stuff. I just quit using it.
That's all that counts, though. I mean, if that's the only way people are going to really widespread see it, right? Is if it's in a special recorded where it's
right.
And
some of the bits have been already, I put up on social media, but when you see the whole hour, it's better anyway. You see all the callbacks and all those kind of things.
I want to take the segment in a show to shame Albuquerque audiences. You and I were talking earlier while Van was setting things up, and I brought this up almost every episode, how Albuquerque audiences need to be better about not having a fucking shit chat while
in fact, the other two comics that I was working with last night, they're great comics, and they were saying the same thing, that the Albuquerque audiences, they don't know how to behave yet, because they think that they've seen so many crowd work videos that they think that they're going to just jump in here and start helping. And I didn't have that last night, but I did have a couple tables where they were just chatting. Like, I can hear that from here, and everybody around you can hear that.
Oh, Brad's just background noise. We don't have to pay attention to that.
Yeah, it's not a guy on acoustic guitar in a brewery. It's a fucking comedian in front of you.
You have to hear all the words for it to make sense.
Go to the bar.
And in case, for anybody that hasn't been into Albuquerque's Hyenas Comedy Club, there's not much space between you and the table.
No, they're right on top of you, Absolutely.
So sorry, whoever it was, I don't want to offend them, but you're a fucking idiot for thinking that you can get away with that.
Well, the thing is, too, is people start chatting and going back, and then they'll come back and listen to you for a minute, and they didn't hear the first part of the joke, so they don't get it. So they can go back and start this conversation, and then they're like, pretty soon you've lost them because they're not paying attention anymore.
Yeah.
And they don't hear that. You got to hear all the words when you're listening to a comic. It's like you said, not a guitar player at the brewery where you can listen for a while, and then go to a conversation, come back and listen to the guy.
Yeah.
Do you have secret tricks to, I think you had mentioned what you did this time, but to me, but do you have secret tricks to sort of get them back or maybe even shame them a little bit?
There's all kinds of ways to do it. I mean, sometimes you just stop and look at them and wait until they realize that the guy's not talking anymore.
I saw a comic one time years and years ago here in Albuquerque at an old comedy club, and he just kind of lost his shit. And that's where I was like, oh, you just lost. Now you've lost control of the whole thing.
You can't lose your temper or go nuts.
I think he said, can you please stop talking? I'm trying to do a show up here. And I'm like, oh, well, now no one's going to laugh at anything else you say.
Well, I taught fourth grade before I got into this business. I taught fourth grade for 7 years. And as a teacher, when somebody's trying to disrupt, you ignore the behavior because you don't want to reward the behavior. Some kid's bored and he's sitting there tapping his pencil on the desk waiting for you to go, hey, would you knock it out? Then you rewarded. He wanted you to do that.
Yeah.
And you gave him what he wanted. And sometimes it's that way. A lot of times it's that way too when somebody's chirping at you. They just want they want your attention, and don't give it to them and act like you can't hear it or see it. Have you ever been in a crowd or somewhere where you ask somebody an obvious question, everybody heard you ask the question, and you get completely ignored, and you're like, God, that was awkward. You know what I mean? Oh man, that was really awkward. So that's my first defense if anybody starts chirping.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, it's really nice since I blew up. A lot of the people coming in, they're coming in to see me, which is something new. I've been doing this for 40 years. I didn't blow up till year 34. So for 34 years, I walked on stage pretty anonymous.
Yeah.
People knew they were coming to a comedy show. They didn't know who they were going to see, right? And now a lot of them have seen me, and they're coming, and they know they want to see me. So they're not the type of people that are going to like, oh, let's disrupt. We're at a comedy show.
Sure.
Which is a very nice luxury to have.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Attracting your audience.
Do you feel like there's almost an advantage being unknown when you could just like completely grab strangers instead of like people who have expectations of you already? Yeah,
because they don't have any expectations. It was kind of weird for the first couple of years after I blew up. I had a weird kind of a mindset where, for 34 years I would walk on stage. They didn't know who I was. And they're thinking, I hope this guy's good. And generally I would exceed their expectations. And then after I blew up, I thought, God, these people are all here. They're all sitting there going, I hope he's good. And I'm thinking, God, I hope I'm good too. It was a different mindset.
Yeah.
It took a while to get used to that.
So a lot of people say you have X amount of time, you got X amount of hours in, you got to eat shit for a while before you have that stage presence. You know who you are, you know your voice. How long do you feel it took you to figure out?
I moved up pretty quickly. I don't know how, you don't know your path is your path. So it took me a while to be in the business, to look back at my own progression. I moved up pretty quickly. And most comics that end up being good at it or professional or getting work are better right away than some open mind. It's a skill like anything else. You know what I mean? There's a lot of skills that way. I mean, a guy that could throw 90 miles an hour, he always could throw 90 miles an hour, right? So he just had to refine it. So he could throw 90 from the beginning. I quit teaching. You can't do it now. I from the time I stepped on stage until I quit teaching school and went on the road I had at least a good 30 minutes at that point, maybe more. It was only about 18 or 19 months.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't happen anymore because there's just 10,000 comics. Right. More than that, there's 300,000 comics, and everybody gets 3 minutes at the open mic. So you can't develop an act.
Was there overlap in teaching and comedy?
Yeah, for a couple of years.
Did you ever run into parents or something like that, or see if they?
That's a good idea. That's a good question. No, I don't know if
I mean, your material is not super offensive, so it's not it's all good.
But I talked about. In fact, this is one of the jokes I resurrected about meeting the parents of dumb kids and going, oh, I get it. There's a reason this kid's not succeeding at school. And I would do that in my act when I first started, though. When I first started, it was mostly about teaching school. Yeah. And then I did that material for several years, and then I dropped it. And then I have resurrected a couple of those bits in the last year or two.
Well, I think you're right for it now. Is a sitcom about teaching, right?
Yeah,
Mr. Upton.
Yeah.
Have you ever dipped your toe into acting, sitcom?
Yeah, a little bit, and I'm actually got a thing going on right now that I'm trying to get off the ground. A little show. I can't reveal too much about it right now, but yeah, I am, and I have done a couple of bit of independent films and things like that. Okay. I did. Do you remember Prefontaine when that was out?
Sure. Yeah, man.
I'm the guy when he flips the car and he's laying there dying. I run out and try and pull the car off of Jared Leto.
I was going to say, I think there's two movies that came out around the same time. There was Prefontaine, and there was another one. I forget.
Running.
Yeah.
I
was trying to remember which one was. That was
the one with Jared Leto. Okay. So I say to people sometimes, I have done a scene with a Oscar winner.
Yeah,
just he and I.
A weirdo too.
Yeah, did the scene together. And had I been stronger, I might have pulled that car off of him, and Prefontaine would still be alive.
Wasn't there an older one too? James Caan did a Prefontaine movie.
No, I don't.
Is that right? No. Huh. No.
I think the other one was with Billy Crudup or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
called.
Yeah. I think one maybe focused more on the. I mean, obviously both focused on Steve Prefontaine, but one seemed to do more about Nike starting and stuff like that. I think that Prefontaine was sort of like, oh yeah, also this guy started a shoe company.
Right.
Also it's cool. You did a scene with Jared Leto, Oscar, Academy Award winning actor, but that's amazing. Great resume builder. But I think more importantly, you got to act with a guy who has an active cult. I think that's even more rare. Are there more Oscar winners? Or are there more, cult leaders?
Well, cult leaders are still alive. Yeah, for sure.
That was 27 years ago. I still get quarterly checks. They're always with about $1.
At least as long as it's more than what it costs to print the check.
Not always. Not always. And you think, why do they send this out? Why do they just wait at the end of the year?
Let it build up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because then you got to do that, right? Now you have a stack of checks for 5 cents. You
my wife will go, deposit it. I'm like, all right, 58 cents.
At least you have mobile deposit now. You don't have to go into the bank every time.
I still enjoy going to the bank. It's one of those
that's weird
errand day. It is. I know it is. Any kind of human connection. Just a little sprinkle of interaction here and there.
Do you also enjoy nails on the chalkboard and getting kicked in the nuts?
Well, most of the time, the tellers at a bank are lovely people.
Sure,
you're not dealing with the fucking CEO. No, you're dealing with Janice at the counter.
Behind 4 inches.
100%. They're the nicest people at my bank. It's the lines. I hate standing in lines. Lines are for anything, even if it's to cash my $1 million check.
That used to be you stood in line everywhere. Now we don't stand in line. Remember being a kid, Mom, we're going to the bank.
Yeah.
Oh no. I gotta stand in line.
At least if they had dum-dums or some sort of suckers at the front, maybe I wouldn't like. Just
Right.
thinking back to when I was a kid, at least you're standing in line. At least you get a sucker. At the
Right.
Well, free shout out to Rio Grande Credit Union. They still got the dum-dums in line.
Oh,
all right,
we're on
Nusenda.
our way right
All
after
right,
this.
Nusenda, pick it up.
Hey, I do. I'm a cream soda dum-dum guy.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't taste like a cream soda, but whatever the hell it is, it's delicious.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
I always steal like 3 or 4 of them and like put them in the cab of the truck. After I got a hankering for something sweet, I got
Want to do
yeah.
best
I hope
Kojak
you
impression?
You better get a case of those after this airs.
Yeah.
Dum people. You
Our
better tag them.
friends at Dum Dum and the Rio Grande Credit Union.
Here's the thing, Brad. I'm not sure that the dum-dum industry is listening to this show.
Yeah.
Hopefully they are.
How dare you, Andy?
Yeah.
We just had an email from Zagnut last week.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Speaking of obscure candy that I like a Chico stick. Anybody else? Chico stick.
I can appreciate it. Yeah. It's not
There's
my
people
favorite.
that go, I've never heard of it. I go, where were you born and raised that you don't know what a Chico stick is? They aren't always easy to find.
That's the one. It's basically like a Butterfinger without chocolate.
Yeah, it's
around it.
exactly how I describe it. It's
Yeah.
a Butterfinger with no chocolate. It gets all stuck up in your teeth.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
suck
yeah.
it out of there for the
I
next
love that.
20 minutes.
That is love that.
Yeah.
Same reason I like dots, get them
Oh,
all
yeah.
stuck in there.
Yeah, they'll be up there for 45 minutes.
I hardly ever do sweets. Not really an ice cream guy, not really a chocolate guy. I'm more like a fresh fruit guy. But I can't watch a movie without Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, that's a good choice too.
I think I've Pavloved myself into like having to have Sour Patch Kids every time I watch a
I
movie.
don't buy those ever. I'll never buy them, but I buy them at Halloween to give out and make sure that I got a bunch of extras. So for
Nice.
first part of November, I'm dipping into the sours.
We'll send you Van's address before you go. You can
Yeah,
ship
give me all your leftovers.
Yeah.
I love them.
all the extra hard ones.
You do a big Thanksgiving?
No, just my wife and I, the 2 kids and the son-in-law, just 5 of us. It was nice. Didn't have just the immediate family. How about you guys?
Well, my wife has a huge family, so there was 30 people at our Thanksgiving.
Yeah, love it, hate it.
Oh, I love all the people. They're listening, right? No,
Right.
they're all great. They're all great people. It is just that it's
Except for you, Rick.
yes,
Yeah.
except Uncle Gary.
Wait, is there an actual Rick? Like,
No,
okay.
Okay.
there's
Okay,
actual
never
Uncle
mind.
Gary, but
Yeah.
he's fine. He's great. It's the logistics of it all.
Yeah.
It's I sort of the grass is always greener situation where you're like, man, it'd be great if there was just 5 of us. We could just do the turkey. We just eat whenever it's done.
Right. Right.
Instead of people are showing up at 1, we gotta have. I feel like I'm on Top Chef or something like that, trying to get the potatoes in the oven and do this and do that and make sure the turkey's done on time. And it's
Don't take the gummy too early.
yeah, smart.
no joke there.
Yeah.
Not the gummy. I definitely took a little puff here and there as I was making the turkey at home, because then it's boring to just
Right.
sit and watch a turkey or carve a
Yeah.
turkey and do something interesting.
I have an adult daughter, and on Thanksgiving we tried to time it. We're like exactly 45 minutes
Right.
before we open up that oven.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
Yeah.
So you were that I don't know why I picture Western Washington as the perfect place for a Thanksgiving meal. You have a big window and you can kind of see the leaves are changing.
Oh
the
yeah,
sky's
no,
kinda
that's
cloudy.
exactly right.
It looks like a
Mhm.
perfect Thanksgiving. Now you were telling us a funny story about Western Washington, a business your grandmother ran in Skagit County, Washington.
That is correct. My grandmother was a madam
Okay.
at a brothel after she aged out of the business.
Oh, okay.
So she learned the business while she was in the business, and then had her own brothel and did quite well. And her and her sister ran booze across the border during Prohibition,
Okay.
and because it was up, they're only about 50 miles from the
Yeah,
Canadian border. And they never got investigated. Nobody checked their car because she knew every one of those guards had been in her place. And they didn't want to touch her car. They didn't want her blabbing her story.
As soon as she calls him by first name, they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Miss Ethel. You go ahead, Miss Ethel. So she never got. So her and her sister ran booze. She did quite well.
Did you know her? Were she?
No, she
okay.
passed before I was born. I never knew her.
Was it hard leaving the family business and becoming a teacher?
Yeah.
Was it a tough decision?
That's all I had.
I love speaking of Thanksgiving again, like having that one sweet moment with grandma.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you got to reach around every once in a while. So, like imparting the grandmotherly wisdom to you. Like sometimes, grandpa teaches you how to throw a curveball and grandma's teaching you how to, find the clit.
This is how you make them happy. Get them in, get them out.
Yeah.
It's about revenue.
So what you got to do is wash your hands before and after. No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like the first doctor to figure out germ theory.
Yeah.
Okay. Did the first doctor to figure out germ theory like actually found that out from a madam?
Yeah.
Clean your hands.
The conversations I have with my grandma are always like, there's a benchmark somewhere that she's, like, well, this happened in this time. You imagine your grandma's like, well, was that the first time I had the clap or the second time?
Yeah,
right. 1919 was my first time I got an STD.
Yeah.
So that must have been 1920. Yeah.
Like everybody has like this awful image of, their parents making them, like they're your folks.
Yeah.
Right.
But they had to have had sex to make you.
Sure.
And not only they did it to make babies, they did it for pleasure and sport.
Right.
And I think every generation you go back, it gets weirder. Except for your grandma. Like it did it like as a career.
Did it as a career, and that she was older, and so was my grandfather. He was like 47, I think, when he impregnated her, and she was probably 40-ish. So she wasn't even in the business anymore.
Okay.
She was still a madam, but maybe she took pity on him. None of the young girls want this old guy. I'll do one. I'll take one for the team.
Give you a freebie. Yeah. I do need a retirement plan. Anyway.
Yeah. Were they together for her whole professional career? This is after retirement?
He got her pregnant. Back then in the 1920s, you married somebody, you got pregnant, and they got married, and they were married about 3 years or something. And split up, and then my dad was raised by my mom or his grandmother.
I feel bad for your dad not terrible, but that's a wild childhood to grow up, and because clearly
those dads coming in the door.
The reason that is because your dad knew, right?
Right,
I'm sure
exactly.
Your dad grew up knowing full well what his.
I just picked up bits and pieces of that story over the years, and then finally put it all together. And then when I got older, Dad told me the whole story and everything.
That's wild. And so you grew up in Eastern Washington, though?
Yeah,
right?
Eastern Tri-Cities, Richland, Pasco, Kennewick.
Yeah. That's much more like Albuquerque, I think.
It is very much.
No, Andy, quit trying to segue out of this whorehouse stuff, dude. We're not even close to being done.
I don't think Grandma Upton told Brad specifically what she saw.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know where the old building is?
No,
like,
I don't know where it is.
Okay.
I just know what town it was in. Yeah.
Yeah, Mount Vernon, Washington. That doesn't surprise me. It was a small town when I lived there for 3 years.
And back then it was all logging, so there were tons and tons of loggers. A lot of men there, and loggers and.
Middle of the woods too. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, now continue the question.
I find myself very judgy of Eastern Washington sometimes. Like I said, I spent a month in Spokane 1 year, or I said that reverse. I said it the wrong way, but I guess if that's what you know.
Yeah, exactly. What were you doing up in Spokane?
Following a girlfriend.
Yeah. I went to junior college in Spokane for a couple of years. I like Spokane. It hasn't changed in 50 years. But I like it.
It was nice. I think it probably colored that I couldn't find a job, but we were sharing a car. After a month, we were like, we got to go back to Western Washington.
Yeah.
So, I think my grandfather had some relatives that had a vineyard or something down in the Yakima Valley somewhere.
Yeah, sure. That's big wine country.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Richland, where I grew up, that was part of the Hanford, the Manhattan Project. So it was Hanford and Los Alamos and what's the one in Tennessee? Part of the Los Alamos Project.
You got me. You're talking.
Oh, there's like a number in it.
What's it called?
Van's daughter is a smart one.
It skips a generation for sure.
But so that was where they made the plutonium for the atomic bomb, and then when they got the plutonium, they sent it down here to New Mexico.
That's why we're all glowing right now.
Then
it's not the lights.
What is the place in Tennessee? Come on, why do I not know that? But when I was here years ago, my cousin, he lives here. He took me for a drive. We went up to Los Alamos. So when they built those 3 towns, they just threw them up within a few months.
Mm-hmm.
They just created cities out of nothing. And so the floor plans for all the houses are the same in each town. So all of a sudden I'm driving through Los Alamos and I recognize all the buildings because they were just like the houses in my hometown.
That's
All
wild.
right.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, it's definitely kind of more desert-like, right?
Yeah, very much. People
Dry.
don't realize about Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington only gets about 6 inches of rain. It's desert. It's
Yeah.
dry. There's
Once you
sagebrush.
once you get past the mountain range,
Yeah.
it's all
It's a big rain shadow of the Cascade Mountains. And it's agriculture now. It was dry desert when I was a kid, but now the Columbia River runs through there, so it's endless irrigation water.
There was I always remember as a kid talk of wanting to split up Washington and Oregon so that Western Washington and Oregon are one state and Eastern Washington and Oregon.
Go
Those guys are
north,
still around.
south.
Sure,
Yeah, and it's still red and blue.
Yeah.
Big, all the people in Eastern
Because
Washington.
when you talk about tax dollars and what people are paying for, right? I'm not taking their side here at all, but there's people on the eastern part of Washington that are saying all my tax dollars are going to these big stadiums and all this other stuff, and I'm like, you still get to use it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you might have to drive 3 hours,
and
but
it's not true either.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Sure.
We support. It's just
Yeah.
like blue states support the red states. It's
Sure,
just
sure.
the way it is, and in Eastern and Western Washington's the same way.
it is culturally different though. Right?
Oh,
I mean,
big
even
time.
in Oregon
Mhm.
too, if you go to Eastern Oregon
Yeah.
versus Portland, it's different.
Oh yeah,
culturally.
absolutely. Eastern Oregon's empty. I don't know if you've ever gotten a map and looked at it, but it is empty.
It's like Montana.
Yeah, very much. It's the farthest in the United States that you can be from the interstate system.
Oh wow.
Out there in the middle of Eastern Oregon.
Huh.
You're about at least 200 miles from the interstate.
I think
Oh, there's definitely some hills have eyes shit going on out there.
Yeah.
I think I only cut across one corner a couple times driving back and forth from here in Washington. I think it's like, let's say it's like Grande or something, or
The Grand.
like, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
And look here, see, I'm an Albuquerque boy. I'm like Grande. No, it's
Yeah.
Grand.
Good ZZ Top album.
Yeah. It's exactly the same.
But yeah, it's just a
Corner.
corner of it, and that I was in and out of Oregon, I think, in a couple hours.
You guys were talking about a random dive bar in Washington, and you immediately segued, Brad, into like you worked that club with Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, with Mitch Hedberg. Mitch started. He did his first few open mics in Minneapolis, I think.
I think that's where he's from, right? I think he's.
And then he moved to Seattle, and that's where he
Okay.
really did most of his open mic days. Was in
Okay.
Seattle when he first started getting gigs and stuff, and he just bombed on a regular basis. And you can imagine, you've been in the
Yeah,
bar, right?
yeah.
Imagine Mitch up there staring at the ground and mumbling in the microphone
Yeah.
in this bar. They hated him, because he had no stage persona or presence, and he hadn't found his audience yet. And he's just up there mumbling his jokes, and I'm in the back laughing my butt off. And then I think,
Oh, yeah.
this poor guy's just eating it bad. And then I have to go up and dig out of his hole.
Well, it's the Stephen Wright dry comedy stuff, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I remember watching Stephen Wright as a kid, and then Mitch Hedberg when I was a little bit older. But yeah, you're right. In a bar like that, everyone is getting rowdy, and they're like, "This is what we're doing this weekend. We're going to the bar to drink."
When you
And-
start in a comedy, you have to work these awful, crappy little one-nighters in these bars where it's loud and there's a pool table. And I remember when Stephen Wright first came on, and I was like, "I'll bet this guy just died 1,000 times."
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
1,000 times in those bars. And I still, to this day, when I watch myself, I talk too fast. And I know it's from the very beginning of trying to get those jokes
Getting them out,
trying to overpower the crowd, excuse me, make them listen to you.
Yeah, imagine a Stephen Wright joke in a crowded bar where they only hear
No.
the last word. The punchline sounds the exact same as
Right.
the buildup. It's just all the same all the way through, and you're going, "What did he just say?"
You're right. It's a small world,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't want to paint it. I mean, that's just going to die in a bit when nobody's listening.
The Hedberg joke, which is a bunch of favorites, but rice is great if you ever want to eat 1,000 of something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did when I first started. Some of the work that I got, I worked for Yuck Yucks up in Canada, Western Canada. They gave me a lot of work. I worked for them.
Is that where Jim Carrey got to start?
What's that?
Is that where Jim Carrey got to start?
He was out. He worked for Yuck Yucks, but he worked out in East. And
Oh,
Yuck
you're
Yucks had
talking about
West, and they
Vancouver.
had East, and then I would work from Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, and I worked all these crappy one-nighters in
Yeah.
little towns, all way out in the prairies in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere. And they would put you like Tuesday, Wednesday on these little dinky towns like Brooks and Tabor, Alberta, and then you got to go to Calgary for Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday you had to go to High River, Alberta, or something, and then I did a bunch of those, and they were rough and hard, and they hated you because you were an American, and they hated you because you got to leave town the next day.
I'm hearing this time frame, and you're either the most committed comic or just stubborn or maybe not that bright, Brad.
Well, on Tribble gigs, I don't know if you ever heard of Tribble gigs. Those are the equivalent. David Tribble was a guy that booked all these one-nighters in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana. And they were awful. They were all awful, but they either made you better or they made you quit.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, figure out who's going to cut it and who's not. Right?
No, and I know there are guys that went out on Tribble runs and went, I'm not cut out for this.
You feel bad for
fun. You
feel bad for, I'm not even name names because I can't think of them, but I know what's happened in the recent past, especially during COVID, where these people just blow up and they go straight to stardom. You ever start to feel bad for them because you go, oh, they don't know how to deal with failure.
No, they don't, and they don't know how. They don't have an act really yet.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge them at all, because if I was a comedy club and there was a guy that could sell out the room, then that's who I'm going to hire. I get that part, but some of these guys that have blown up because they have a funny 6-minute bit.
Yeah.
And these people, this guy's great, let's go see him, and then he's got to do 45 to an hour, and he just can't yet.
In front of an audience that maybe doesn't even know who he is.
No, right. Yeah. So he doesn't have the tools yet.
Yeah.
I saw a viral video of, and I just learned who this guy was because he came to Albuquerque. I Show Speed. Are you familiar with this guy? Internet phenomenon,
yes,
one of the biggest streamer guys.
Because I have teenagers, I know who he is.
Okay, he just went out on stage, called everyone the N-word, and did a backflip and ran off. Like that was literally it.
Oh,
like 30 seconds.
He stole
and that video has like 250 million views.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Well, it makes me mad too, is that the general public
eats it.
That's what you bought a ticket to go see. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, like my 12-year-old. I can't even ask him about who that guy is because he just gets in like, oh God, I can't even explain this to you, Dad.
But say to your 12-year-old, 6'7"?
Oh yeah, he hates it. He hates it when I say 6'7". He goes, oh man, he goes, Dad, that's so cringe. And so now I just say things wrong on purpose, or I drop them off and I go, keep it Riz, guys. Or
I used to do the same exact thing to my daughter.
Yeah.
Just ruin every catchphrase that all the kids had.
Yeah. That's I did a bit that was online about singing along on the radio, just singing on in the car. And I would do that in the car, and the kids would just, Dad, no, come on, stop it.
My poor kid, I think I ruined Kendrick Lamar for him.
I
think he's still a fan, but I was just excited that he was such a super fan, because I think this guy's pretty brilliant. And he keeps telling me, he's like, Dad, I like him, but I'm not like, you keep telling people I'm the biggest fan. And I'm like, all right.
Don't speak for me, Dad.
Be whatever fan you want to be. It's all right. But yeah, I'm once your dad starts listening to the music that you're listening to, it's all over.
You ruin it for him.
I got pretty fortunate in that area because me and my kiddo share similar musical interests, and we would share music with each other and go to concert. Even when she was younger.
Yeah.
So instead of having that Dad, it's like, hey Dad, what are you listening to? These
my oldest is more like that. He's more of like, hey Dad, let's check, and we'll go see movies together, and we're much more. My youngest, the 12-year-old, is the Mr. Cool guy, wears cologne and gold chains.
Oh, is he into that now?
Yeah,
okay.
He's a fashion-forward 12-year-old, almost 13-year-old.
Was he in 7th grade, 6th,
7th grade? Yeah.
Have you ever had
6th, 7th grade?
Yeah, 6th, 7th. I hope he's listening. You ever get 7, 8, 7th grade boys in your house at once?
Yes, unfortunately.
Bad. I'm convinced they can't smell it. I don't think they smell it.
No.
I remember walking in downstairs, it'd be 6th, 7th, 8th grade boys down there. You walk in, you're just like, oh God.
Yeah.
It's like opening your trunk and you left wet clothes in there about a month ago, and it's just, they stink.
Well, then once I start, my oldest is 15, so when he has sleepovers, I've got 4 or 5 14, 15-year-olds, and they're huge. So they stink, they're huge, they take up space, and I'm like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go see Van for the night.
Yeah. Or
get the hell out of here.
The amount of food that those kids could put away.
Yeah.
I think maybe something about your hormones and your body changing.
Absolutely. It's exactly what it is.
Kills your sense of smell.
I think so.
For a little bit of time.
It makes sense that if you stunk, if you and all your peers stunk those same years, you can't smell anything.
Agreed.
Yeah,
It's gotta be
that's why
something.
the Axe is so popular with those kids.
Sure.
They're covered up, and it's the only thing they can smell.
Oh God, trying to teach my son that, a little goes a long way.
Right.
He started with Axe. He wanted my wife to buy Axe, and then he bought some other cologne. And I'm like, dude, you got to. And he's like, I only did like one squirt. And I'm like, yeah, I doubt it. I don't think you did one squirt. Try
Can the Axe even squirt? It
Well,
comes
no,
out like a
that's
fucking
like a
fire
Yes,
extinguisher.
that is. He's moved on from Axe to something else, but I'm like, I got to teach him how to do it some other way because I can smell him coming. His cologne. Ugh.
Yeah.
I quit smoking a little more a couple years ago, and you don't realize when you're a smoker, your smell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like quitting for a while, like you're like, oh, like I could smell a smoker. Andy still smokes.
Yeah.
No offense, brother.
I
could smell a smoker.
As soon as he walked in here,
Yeah.
one of these guys is a smoker.
It's just like the teenage hormonal body.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
surprise, surprise, nicotine kills your sense of smell. Like, how fucking convenient
Or your-
for you
or
that you
your-
can't smell
Or
you.
your sense of caring.
Oh, there's that too.
Yeah, when I started, in comedy, there was still no smoking restrictions at that
Yeah.
time in the '80s, and the rooms would just be thick. And I remember coming home after a show and taking my clothes off, putting it on a hanger, and going outside and hanging it outside on the deck just overnight.
You don't want to
You
smell.
didn't want that in your closet.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd stink the whole up the room.
Back in your fourth grade classroom.
Right, exactly. Where were you last night, Mr. Upton? We were watching movie.
Just hanging with my grandma.
Yeah. I saw Grandma. I saw her old friend. And Mr. Upton's hungover.
So I don't know if we mentioned it yet, but you talk about being around, being an OG. You said you've done this 42 years.
42 years. September '84 when I first started.
That's
And
incredible.
I quit teaching in '86, so June will be 40 years since I've been doing it full time.
Your career is 1 year younger than me and Andy.
I was going to say we're not going to tell you how old we were.
It's just pains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have kids too, are
I
they?
have kids. My son is 31, lives in LA. My daughter will be 29 next week.
All right.
Yeah. She
So-
lives nearby.
You must have figured out a system for this. Like when you're touring, do you have are you just touring constantly? Are you just always on the road? Or you say like, I'm going to do it from this time to this time? Or is it a day breakdown?
Yeah, it was pretty much full time. I mean, and you leave town on Thursday and come home on Sunday. But I told people, and I'm sure of it, I had more FaceTime with my kids than dads that leave the house at 7 a.m. and don't come home till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I see the kids from 7 p.m. to 9 and put them to bed, and they're gone in the morning.
Because you're there after school.
Right. When I was home, I'd get up in the morning, we'd fix some breakfast, walk them to the school bus, and then when they got off the school bus, I was the dad standing there at the school bus. So I had a lot of FaceTime.
You can still take a nap in there in the
Yeah,
middle.
absolutely.
Right?
Take a nap in the middle of the afternoon. Sure.
And then you're there in the afternoon making dinner because you're not going to
I'm
the
not
club
going
until
anywhere.
later, right?
No. So when I was home, I was home. Yeah, a lot of FaceTime with my kids.
That's good. So as far as like weeks on and weeks off though, right now while your kids are an adult, because it still takes a toll on you as anybody, no matter who you are. You can't be on the road 24/7, right?
No, and I'm going to do this special in April, and I'm going to cut way back. I'm just going to cut way back. I've been doing it for 40 years.
Sure.
And I want to find out what's the least amount I can work and still stay sharp, because I have been working constantly. And then to bring down the comedy podcast, in the last 15 months, I've lost both my siblings to cancer. And it's the universe is telling me, let's time to go do some fun stuff, quit traveling. I'll still travel. I like to travel.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to put my show clothes in there. And you know what I mean? I just don't want to pack for a show. So I'm gonna back way off.
If you miss a flight, you don't want to have to worry about missing a gig.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no, that stress getting to the airport. I don't have to pack a pair of dress shoes.
Right.
Are your kids funny?
Yeah, my daughter's pretty funny. My son's pretty funny too at times. They're both. My daughter, I think, has more of the. She takes after me, and my son kind of takes after my wife more. They're the similarities, but yeah, they're pretty funny. They know. My daughter knows when to say something inappropriate at the exactly perfect time.
Nice.
I've noticed that with my kids. My youngest, he's the stinky cologne one, but he is sharp and clever and will just come up with some stuff. And I'm like, how the fuck did you just come up with
Right,
that?
exactly. I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about being clever, because it's hard to be dumb and funny. Like, it's super rare that somebody is dumb and also hilarious. Because I think those two things go
Yeah,
hand
not
in hand.
on not on purpose.
Not on purpose, yeah.
No,
Not a laugh with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think most comedians are pretty smart. I mean, some of them can't get to the airport on time. Or,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean, late for work. But I think they have high IQs for the most part.
Right.
Most comedians are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going through it in my head. Even the sort of low hanging fruit comics, they're always smart. You know, I mean, the people that always get teased, right? The Carrot Tops, the Gallaghers, they're still smart people. They're still clever. They come up with stuff. You know, like I can't think of a successful comedian that I would say no, they're a fucking idiot.
No, that's right. I'm the same way.
Even like a Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
That's not a real person.
That's what I was going to say. Especially once you realize
yeah.
that's something he came up with. Right?
Sure.
You guys know Rocky Laporte? He's a great comic
Yeah,
in Chicago. Rocky Laporte's great, and he plays this kind of dumb Italian guy on stage. And then you listen to his whole act. He's great. He's a great comic, really funny. And then the longer you watch him, you go, "Oh, this guy's really smart." He's playing a dumb guy.
Yeah.
He's really anybody that's kind of plays as a dumb person on stage.
That's
or
like
kind of a dumb persona. They're pretty smart.
I only realized maybe in the past 5-6 years that Dice started that as a bit, that Andrew Dice Clay he was
right.
I don't know what he was before, but that was sort of like this is a character I have, and then he just stuck with it.
Yeah. Well, Larry the Cable Guy was the same way.
Yeah.
I used to be his clothes and do clothes on Larry the Cable Guy for the last 10 minutes.
Sometimes I love to go back and watch there's a clip floating around on the internet where he's in Florida. He's wearing his khaki shorts and like, you're not a Hawaiian shirt, but he looks like a South Florida guy.
Yeah.
Sounds nothing like Larry the Cable Guy.
His name's Dan. What's his name? Dan. I know.
Couldn't tell, but you're right. It is Dan, I think, but I can't. Yeah.
And he out of those blue collar guys, he is the only one that graduated from college.
Right.
the dumb one is the only one that graduated from college.
What was your segue into comedy? Like, what was your inspiration? What was the thing you saw? You said, "Oh, I can do that."
You know, the first comic I ever saw live ever when I was 15 years old, and he was at the height of his career, was George Carlin.
Oh wow,
I was like 15 years old, and I think that was the night the hook was set, because I remember just sitting in the audience. You know, this was early 70s. I was with my mom and dad and my younger brother, and you know, this is the 70s. People are smoking pot indoors, and it's George Carlin concert. But I remember sitting there because there was just a stool on stage and a microphone and a pitcher of water and a glass, and I remember just sitting there going, "He's just going to come out here with nothing but that."
Yeah.
He's just going to come out there with that, and he's going to entertain with just that. And I was just remember thinking, that's unbelievable. And I think that's what kind of made me think, "Oh, I want to do that. I wonder if I can do that." And from that, you know, But you know, when you're 15 years old, you know, how are you going to turn this into? How are you? And even when I was 17, I didn't do my first open mic till I was 28, which is kind of old to get started.
Yeah.
Because I was scared. I didn't know where they were. I was 200 miles from the closest open mic. So,
and even if it was close, it's like it takes some balls to just go up there one night and say, "I'm going to go to an open mic," and just
I didn't do it. I wanted to. I was writing. I had like 6 notebooks full of material by the time I first ever did an open mic. That's probably one reason why I moved up pretty fast, because I had all these notebooks of material. I just was afraid to try it. I was afraid, and then I finally went, if you're going to try it, you're not getting any younger. I mean, I was 28 years old. I'm either going to try it now or I just never do it.
By that time, you're in Western Washington, big city.
I lived in Pasco. I was in Pasco in Eastern Washington. The open mic was in Seattle, 200 miles away. So I go over there and signed up for an open mic.
It's going to be the worst drive after you eat shit.
Oh, yeah. Drive real quiet.
Why did I say that? Stupid idiot. Nothing but you and your thoughts.
Yeah. But the first time I got on stage, I killed. And had I not, I may not have ever done it again. I might have went, "Well, okay, I tried."
You showed up.
I've heard that from a lot of comedians, just in interviews I've heard, is like, you got to do well the first time, but you have to eat shit pretty quickly after that to understand
which I did. You know?
You can't
exact same 5 minutes.
You can't do great and then keep doing great without it being having that.
Nobody in stand-up's ever been good right away. I mean, no one. You watch The Voice or America's Got Talent. You see singers that come right out of the post office, and they are a finished product as far as a singer, maybe not as a performer, but a great vocalist, fantastic vocalist. And it's a natural talent. But there's nobody that's just walked on stage and can just crush for an hour day one. I mean, that just doesn't happen in
It's like
stand-up.
timing is always the
Yeah,
thing
you
too.
just need those reps on stage to get comfortable.
Remember there was an old book, maybe it's still around. It was like basically like how to be a comedian. I think it probably was written in the 80s or something like that. And one of the things in there was like, you can be a funny writer, you can write, but you're never going to understand timing until you get up and tell jokes. In front of
No, that's
people,
right. Mm-hmm. And the people would always say, "Oh, I was a class clown." You're like, you're not going to be a comic.
Yeah.
The class clown is usually loud.
Right.
In most high, just the loud guy.
Oh, cool. You make fart noises.
Right, exactly. But yeah, the class clown usually isn't the guy that winds up being the comic.
No, he usually ends up being a car salesman.
Yeah, exactly.
An alcoholic.
Right.
How dare you? I'm sitting right here, dude.
You never sold cars.
Yeah, correct.
When I was a class clown.
We were talking a little bit earlier about like you hit really hard on dry bar, and then everyone like assumed going forward that you are a clean comic.
Yeah, I was never dirty in my act. You know what I mean? I never was dirty, but I wasn't afraid of saying shit or God damn it or fuck once in a while. So, and I could do it clean the whole time. But yeah, when I blew up on dry bar, everybody's, "Oh, you're so clean." I was like, "Oh, fuck."
I guess I am now.
I guess I am now. So yeah.
Yeah, but
still tiptoe it around.
There's something to be said about knowing when that word means, when a specific word is needed in that situation.
But there's a couple of jokes where I sacrifice a bigger laugh that I know well if I went, "God damn it," that would get a bigger laugh than, just making a noise like the same. It would just get a bigger laugh because that's kind of the mindset of the joke and how it works. But yeah, you sacrifice that a little bit because some people don't want to hear bad words.
Well, there's comedians that you don't even think, like speaking of Nate Bargatze, right? I mean, you could watch a couple of specials in a row and maybe not even realize that he doesn't swear.
No, that's right.
Like,
you're not that's the thing about it too. You don't necessarily know.
Brian Regan and Jim Gaffigan too, right? Like, you're like, oh yeah, I guess they are clean.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I can tiptoe. You can be, there's innuendo and you can tiptoe around some naughty subjects without being filthy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an extra art to it, right? Without taking those easy punchlines, those easy exasperations, that if you could do it in your own voice, in your own way, it makes you more creative.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, but when you start out in those ugly bars and you got to try and get those guys on your side. You usually start out, and it's easy. You get a big laugh or a reaction when you cuss.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to do when you're first starting because you're up there surviving it yourself,
Right.
Brad, like we're up against it, my man. The hour just absolutely flew by.
Wow, man. Well, I appreciate it.
We got to get you changed and ready for the show too.
Yeah, that's right. I don't even know. I got to get back to the motel and swap these clothes out.
You got the big unnamed special coming out in April. It's very exciting stuff, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And anybody watching live, I don't think are the shows sold out yet tonight?
I don't think so. I think there's
still time to get tickets for both shows tonight. So get out and see Brad at Hyenas tonight, Upton and Uptown.
Upton, yeah, that's right.
Where can the friends of the show find you online?
Brad Upton is my website, and then Brad Upton Comedy is Instagram, and then I'm on Facebook and anywhere on social media.
Awesome.
Yep.
And thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Check out Brad Upton and especially check out Hyenas Comedy Club here in the Windrock Town Center. For Brad Upton, for Andy Lyman, I am Van Nunley, and thanks for hanging out one more time on another episode of Hyenas Presents The Green Room. See you next time.